Hello everybody, something a little bit different from me today. I'm going to take you through my simple process of how to make a Christmas wreath. And what is before you on the table here is a result of the foraging I've been doing this morning. So it may well look a bit chaotic, and as does the room. I've got my sewing equipment in the background there, which is what I'm a little bit more known for in terms of my videos. But I'm going to show you how to make some wreaths. I've bought these from a local garden centre. Now this just makes your life a lot easier. I don't know what size it is, doesn't really matter. Obviously the larger the ring, the bigger wreath that you'll make. But basically I'm going to take you through the process, so bear with me and let's get started. So you're going to need some basic tools. Now I've got a pair of scissors here. I've got some wire from the garden centre. Now this is just medium wire and you can see it's quite flexible. Actually you can cut that with my own scissors, so you don't need to have wire cutters exactly. My recommendation is to have some robust gloves. These are called heavy duty gloves and I also bought those from my garden centre. As I explained a moment ago, you'll need a wreath ring. Now if I'm honest, you can make the wreath rings really easily out of withies. These are the sort of really bendy stems you'll see, or stalks you'll see, and small branches from lots and lots of woods at the moment. They're sort of spring growth, if you like, and they do bend and flex really easily. And last year I did make the wreath rings out of withies, but if I'm honest, it's a little tiring on the hands because it's quite tough to do. I don't think I had the right gloves. And then the most important ingredient really is the foliage itself. Now I've separated these out into piles. I know it looks a bit chaotic at the moment. I foraged these from my local woods. Obviously just obey any sort of trespassing laws and things like that. We've got open woods in the house, just behind my house, so we're able to go and do that. And actually some of this is my own garden, so I have a variegated holly in my garden, which is really pretty. Very prickly, but very pretty, and that'll add something really lovely to the wreaths. And the other things I collect are maybe a little bit unexpected, but just make a really beautiful addition to the wreath. So this is out of the hedgerows. Look at that, it's just absolutely stunning. This comes from the ivy. I've also got beautiful blackberries here. I don't know the technical term for that one, I'm afraid, but they're just absolutely stunning. Rose hips here, look at those, just lovely. And then I've got some ivy over here, as well as, and then I've got some plain green holly as well. Oh, and also another essential ingredient, a cup of tea. So let's get started. Okay, so gloves on and let's get started. So I've also got the wreath here. I've got my pre-cut lengths of wire. If you go for quite long pieces of wire, then you can always trim them down a bit later. And then essentially what you're going to do is select yourself something from each of the different sections on the table. So when I was separating out my forage, I sort of put holly in one corner, ivy in the other, berries over there, so that basically I can pick up one of everything in each of these little bouquets that I'm making. So you see here, I'm sort of gathering them together. It's good to try and get some gloves that you can actually work with, because this lot is quite prickly, but also it's quite delicate at the same time. So there's a couple of different ways of doing this. You could actually wire each of these together, which is what I've done in the past. You see, look, so you make a sort of little bouquet there of foliage. And then the idea is that you then lay that onto the wreath ring and wire it in. Trying not to wire your finger in at the same time. And it's basically wrap the foliage in around tight. Go all the way around the ring here. beautifully, capturing everything, not your gloves, which happens too. There we go. Not very tight at the moment. There, so your wreath is basically underway. And what will happen is, as you layer them around, you'll be able to cover up each of the sets of wire. So I'm going to carry on and make some more now, and you'll see how that goes. So I shall put that probably on fast speed or something. But yeah, so let's see how it comes together. Okay, let's just do a bit of a recap at this point. I've only done sort of 3 or 4. I've taken one of my gloves off, so I hope not to get pricked too much. So I just wanted to show you again what I meant when I said I'm making little bouquets. So if you imagine a bouquet sort of sprays out to the left and sprays out to the right. I'm really hoping that's showing up okay on the camera. So you end up literally with a little bunch of flowers, if you like, every time. A posh word for the word spray. And because you put a little selection of something nice in every time, you can see here the ring building, and it's got interest at every point. Now, if you're thinking, Lord, look at the foliage, it's like spreading out all over the place. That's fine, because it creates a lovely amount of interest. And what we'll do is later on we'll trim these peripheral bits off, or push them in a bit further until you can keep that lovely circular shape. Okay, so I'm going to carry on now until I make it. But yeah, just to recap, making little bunches, you lay them flat, you wrap the wire around nice and tight. Don't worry about the bits that are flaying out at the moment, because you'll be able to trim those off when you are done. Okay. Now you're going to want to create yourself something in order to hang the wreath on the door. And I've just got, this is a ribbon I've had in my stash for a really long time. And basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a length of ribbon, just so that you've got enough here to create a loop and be able to hang that on your door. And then you want to take some of the forestry wire that we pre-cut and wrap it around the base, just to collect it together. Like that, and then attach it to your wreath ring. So I'll just go round and round. Like so. There we go. And you've got a really pretty and secure top to your wreath ring. You can either do that at the beginning, or you can do it part way through, but obviously do it whilst you've got some space on the wreath ring itself. round and round, you will end up with, I promise you will, end up with a full wreath that looks something like this. So looks a bit mad at the moment, I suppose, and you've obviously got the, you can see that on the video there, you've obviously got, that's a little bit better, the ribbon at the top in order to hang it. And why I pick up something sort of different in every little bouquet that I make is so that all the way around, you can see there's actually points of interest in the bouquet, and you don't end up with them sort of dotted in sort of clock positions, if you like. I just really like the sort of the variety that adds. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back in and add some additional wire, so that here, for example, you can see it's a little bit bare here. If I was just to pick that up and wire it in, then it will make it more even. Now you can keep it really rustic looking like that, or you can trim around the edges to make it more spherical. Personally, I actually quite like it rustic, like it is. I do hope you can see that okay. Sort of, yeah, there we go. It's actually one of the first times I'm videoing this sort of footage. But yeah, so you can see it's quite rustic, but hanging on your door. So I'll probably trim these bits here, and maybe a little bit here. But yeah, it looks pretty so far. So I'm going to add some more wire, and then I may well give you some different footage to show you what it looks like. And there she is, completed and in location. Now, in case you're wondering what's happened to my hanging ribbon, I've actually got a sucker that sits onto the door. A PVC door wouldn't be able to hold one of those overhanger things, so I've got a sucker on it. But there she is in location. You can see there's points of interest all the way around it, which because of the sort of formation of those little bouquets, that creates that. And I think it looks really pretty. It's just handcrafted. It took less than an hour to do, a little bit longer to collect the foliage, of course. But these things sell for £30 to £40, etc. In florists, and I just really enjoy it. So I'm going to make some more now and give them as gifts to my friends. I hope you enjoyed the video today. Please do give a likes up, and thumbs up. I can't speak, I'm so cold. And please do subscribe if you'd like to see more videos, more of the sewing variety in the future.